Welcome back, everyone, to another Market Open live stream. Let's take a look at what the heck is going on now. First things first, yesterday we did get a little bit of data coming through from the Asian continent. We heard that Chinese retail sales, I wrote this down, rose 17.7% in April on a year ago, which is obviously a big jump in retail sales. But that was short of expectations of 24.8% growth in retail. They also kind of going from a low to a high on sort of comparing year over year in numbers, that is. And then we also saw some inflation fears come out of both the Asia continent and specifically India, where in both areas we saw a little bit higher inflation than expected. India's, for example, wholesale prices are set to rise in April at the fastest pace since November 2011, led by higher prices across commodities and lower base comparison to last year. Wholesale inflation likely quickened to 9.35%, was at least the current estimate for when that release happens. But anyway, both in the broader Asian market and in India, we saw a little bit higher inflation expectations than people were hoping, and that seems to be weighing on the market a little bit here as well. We do have a little bit more red than green. Let's go ahead and take a peek. Let's go ahead and start. We've got volatility so far. Futures are up, and indices are, we'll see. But take a look at this. You got Marathon and Riot selling down 10 to 11% again. Both of these folks really leading the market in terms of being the biggest losers almost day after day after day. And a lot of this is happening due to the sell-off in crypto, which we did hear yesterday from Elon Musk on Twitter last night, that Tesla had maybe not sold all of its Bitcoin. I think his statement was still a little bit unclear. We can pull it up in a little bit, but we're 5 minutes away from the bell, so we'll wait a little bit before grabbing it. We do have Bitcoin right now sitting at 44.8, which is better than where it sat yesterday, which was right around like 43. It was roughly some of the lows that we hit. Let's go ahead and grab the 1 hour candlestick. Actually, we hit a low of 42,100 here. Wow, okay, we tipped even more. I know yesterday we were kind of dancing around that 44 to 43.7 number. Right now we're at 44.8. Had a little bit of recovery there after Elon Musk suggested he did not sell Bitcoin over at Tesla, but now trending back to the downside. Same thing roughly happened with Ethereum, though we're not at those bottoms where we hit a bottom of 3,118 back to 34.55 right now. Dogecoin really staying stable at around 50 cents, though it did hit a low of about 45 cents. Really, again, though, the leaders here being the crypto companies, Marathon and Riot Digital. And in the meantime, we are, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the other stocks, see what's selling here. Anything crypto related, just getting really destroyed right now. Coinbase down about 3%. You have, and this one always surprises me, that when we have cybersecurity style companies down, 3%. But now seems like the time you'd almost think Wall Street would be really interested in more cybersecurity, but no. We've got Invitae down about 2.6%, Matterport down about 2.7%, Skills about 2.6%, Airbnb 2.6%, Upwork about 2.4%, Desktop Metals down about 2.3%, Tesla's sitting right around here 1.9%, about 2% down. Lemonade about 1.76%, a little bit of a give back from last week. Now, it's not too terrible, given that if we look at the positives from last week, which we still have up for another 4 weeks, we can definitely see that really out of these that are down right now, only Coinbase was also negative on Friday. Coinbase was down about that 2.54%. And yeah, we got to put on member chat. See, it's the spam. That's exactly why we have the member chat. People are like, oh, why do you have the member chat? Have you been here when there isn't? So we'll fix that here. 1 second here. Where's the button? There it is. Gotcha. Okay. So then we've got ChargePoint here. Was up almost 9%, down about 277 now. Tesla really having kind of the closest give back here. Tesla was up about 3.16%. Now it's down about 2%. Tesla really suffering a little bit. A lot possibly because folks, potentially losing a little bit of enthusiasm with Elon Musk and some of the allure with Elon Musk, especially as you get a lot of folks who kind of get discouraged with the way Elon Musk acts when he changes his opinion or makes rash decisions. Which, keep in mind, Tesla was in the toilet for years straight. 2018, 19. There were just years that were literally flat. Mostly, well, maybe not mostly, but often also around times where Elon would say crazy things. So, not so great. But anyway, we'll keep an eye on this. We are accelerating a little bit towards the downside. It looks like we're almost trying to sell off into the open here at Tesla. So we'll see how Wall Street treats it once it's time to open, unless this is Wall Street working in the pre-market here. NEO down roughly 1% here. DocuSign as well down roughly 1%. We got about 90 seconds to go here. Facebook down 0.75%. eBay down about the same. Wayfair 0.67. Etsy roughly around half. A lot of these guys did very, very well on Friday though. So 0.5% on a 4 or 5% up. Not a surprise here. Although you would hope that this Friday or this Monday, one thing we mentioned last week is, if not for sure, but if we were to get a broader green Monday and Tuesday, that maybe that could lead to some kind of unwinding of the shorts. Not sure if we're going to see that, if we're going to get a relatively soft open here. Dow down slightly next to flat. S&P's down slightly next to flat. Mind Medicine right now is the one that's running. Do have an interview coming up with Mind Medicine soon here. I want to say it's Friday. Yeah, Friday. Friday morning interview. At AMC running a bit here at 4% to the upside. See if that kind of holds. But AMC has done very, very well. We were bouncing under $9 for quite a while, and now we're over $13 over at AMC, with Playboy up 5%, Purple up 6.4%, Mind Medicine sitting at up 12%. It's incredible. All right, let's go ahead and listen in to CNBC for the bell. Here we go.
Against the euro, maybe a little. But here's a tweet that this is almost 10% off. Carl, this is not a currency. Who the hell knows what it is?
Yeah. We'll talk more about the degree to which Tesla has begun to track the price of Bitcoin and Coinbase as well, Jim. But for the time being, there's the opening bell. At the big board, it's the Metropolitan Transportation Authority celebrating, as we said earlier.
That's pretty red. Pretty red there. Let's go ahead and see how things are actually responding. AMC red candling hard right now. Maybe not that hard, but definitely getting the red candle. Let's see how things are deciding to open. All right, here we go. So on the opening bell, Marathon and Riot slightly green. Coinbase tanking at the open. Oh, Coinbase plummeting at the open here, now down about 5%. Wall Street not happy with the cryptocurrencies right now at all. It certainly doesn't help that you've got the crypto sell-off kind of, whether it's starting or whether it's going to continue or what. Tesla, though, on the other hand, big green candlestick at the open here. What do we got here? Tesla doing well at the open. Upstart kind of flat. We've got Upwork kind of flat. Trade Desk, red candle sticking. Zillow down. ChargePoint. Look at that run on ChargePoint. That's a nice open. Still red. ChargePoint's still red on the day, but you're definitely getting some big green candles here. Let's go look at the green side. Yeah, Mind Medicine's going red. AMC, look at that green. That's a nice stick there at the second minute after open. That's kind of unexpected and also very impressive. You've got, let's go to, we could go to the 5 minute maybe on some of the coins. No, kind of rotated down. Well, trading a little bit towards the recent downside here on Doge. Same thing with Ethereum and Bitcoin. Not very happy here the way these are trading. Churchill Capital is actually green here, and mostly green candle here at the open. Very soft. A lot of the green is very modestly green here. I mean, a lot of the things that are green sitting between 0.5% and 0.25%, like Peloton over here, pretty much flat. Okay, so we got Starbucks here, about 0.25% down, big deal. Apple, Dave & Buster's, Redfin, Etsy. Here's that 1% give back on some of these that moved 5 to 8% on Monday, whatever, big deal. More interestingly are the ones that are really selling off more. And those are Coinbase here, with the red candles at Coinbase really burning through lows here. I mean, we are at all-time lows here now. We have Square rotating to the downside with just breaking 200 there for a moment at 199.54. Blink, SOS, MP Material, Tesla accelerating to the downside now. Had green candles, was looking good for a moment. Nope. Now down about 2.3%. We were down about, we were green about 3.1% on Friday, and right now we're down about 2.3%. So really pushing to that downside there. And yeah. Let's go ahead, and while we get some of these updates here on what's going on, let's go ahead and jump on over to the let's go ahead and jump channels over here. CNBC's talking about AT&T. Let's give Fox a second here while we pull up Bloomberg Live.
Time ago, I got out of it, but I bought it for the dividend yield, not seeing this coming down the pike. I think David Zasloff is one of the big winners out of this, because he controls a lot of turf in the streaming business. It's all under him. Yep. Tell me about Viacom CBS. I see them rallying this morning. What's the story?
Well, I think Viacom CBS is up because it's likely up for grabs, a next target in a media merger. So, and we know that $20 billion, it's not going to cut it in the media wars today. And that's the reason why Discovery tied up with Time Warner. And there's been talk in the past that Discovery and Zasloff have been eyeing up a tie-up with Viacom CBS before this Time Warner deal was announced. Meantime, you also have Viacom CBS winning that settlement suit with former CEO Les Moonves, who was fighting to keep the $120 million in compensation. But I think it's all about, media content, tie-up news that's really rallying CBS today.
Yeah, the big headline right now, too, is talk about Discovery and AT&T buyout deal here. Let's go ahead and go back to CNBC for a moment. Let's see what we got over here. They might be talking about exactly that.
Subscribers, and they need capital to put into content to do that. I don't know where, but we're at the end now. Like, what happens to Sony? Are they good? Because they'll supply a lot of stuff to everybody, to all the platforms, to Viacom, which seems to be all in on Paramount Plus. Right. Well, and then even smaller people.
All right, let's pull out this. And Bloomberg's talking about stock sliding, so let's give that a shot.
Companies, after last year stabilizing the ship, are also starting to increase share buybacks, thinking about increasing dividends. So we think this is the start of a trend.
I caught up with Vishy Tripatur of Morgan Stanley and Chetanaya as well, and both of them, Stephen, making the point that Morgan Stanley are looking for this huge capex cycle to kick off. I know Bank of America, from their research, super focused on that as well. Are you too, Stephen? Are you looking at that, a huge capex cycle starting to build?
Well, I think some of the disruptions in the supply chain that we're seeing right now clearly have identified places where we need more investment. After a decade where it has been more focused on buybacks, dividend, shareholder return, that investment in CapEx is going to be critical. I think what you've seen in terms of the performance of some of the more cyclical sectors is reflective not just of the near-term recovery that's underway, but some of those longer-term tailwinds in terms of an increase in capital spending.
Richard, I was looking at what you liked. Energy materials.
Here we go. We get rid of all that ad.
Caps, a little bit of Europe as well. Richard, I think it's fair to say very bullish on the cyclical trade, the reflation theme. Is that fair?
Correct. Yes, very much so, John. I think, we've had record monetary stimulus. We've had record fiscal stimulus. We have more coming. The tailwinds are behind us. And if you think about just from a sentiment point of view, where is the day-to-day attention? The day-to-day attention continues to be on things like innovation, disruption, technology. And if you believe that monetary and fiscal policy are going to work, those areas are exactly where you don't want to be. Those were the winners when you didn't have all this, when we had a pandemic. Why would they be these cyclical winners going forward? So I think it's going to be, traditional cyclical leadership for the next several years even.
Richard,
Very common thought on Wall Street right here, except this person calling for several years of that rotation. Let's go ahead and go to the sticks. See what we got going on over here. How are things maturing and evolving? Riot and Marathon still getting slaughtered here. Actually, yeah, even Coinbase, even worse. Coinbase just getting destroyed. I mean, it is getting just eviscerated. It's basically being played right along with the crypto miners in really what has been a big rotation to the downside for crypto, which is not being taken too lightly by Wall Street. Wall Street not really liking that Bitcoin sitting around 44.9 right now. Ethereum sitting at that 44.4 figure. And Doge at about 0.49 now. We'll also pull up CoinMarketCap. Let's give that a shot here. Let's go see what some of the others are doing here. We have Cardano sitting at 211, so all off all-time highs, but definitely up, which is very powerful. We're still through that $2 figure. Pretty incredible breakthrough here at Cardano. Looking at the day chart, sure, we've got red, but still up very nicely here. Go back. Let's pull back a moment here. We have, here's Doge. All right, what else do we have? I think what we could look up, one, is we could look up, let's quickly look how Sheeb's doing. Gets a lot of mention, up about 3.81%, but also has really sold down substantially. Did get a little bit of a volume spike, but still moving towards the downside here. And Ethereum Classic was really one that had a lot of discussion for a period of time, and had its run. And since then, it's really just every single day essentially been down for about the last 8 days now. And volume also declining. Not a very bullish pattern here for Ethereum Classic. Cardano still beating it out on potential patterns here. Tesla recovering. Let's see here. Tesla no longer down, about 2.3%, down somewhere now about 1.3%. So recovering about a 1 percentage point here of a recovery. We are seeing still a little bit of red trying to come through on Tesla. Tesla's not getting received too well here with all this latest Bitcoin drama. Not sure what would have been better or worse news. Tesla keeping the Bitcoin or not, especially with the recent price moves to the downside. It's almost like could you come out and tell the world you sold at 64? Elon the day trader, or swing trader rather. But it doesn't look like that's the expectation right now. Mostly based on his tweet yesterday, which I have to say, his tweets are all over the place. Let's go in here. Elon Musk. All right. So Elon's latest here. Okay. Hallelujah on Panasonic creating a fridge that drives when called. Okay. Here's the big one from 15 hours ago. To clarify speculation, Tesla has not sold any Bitcoin. Now, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just like bad at clarifying. But Elon, Tesla has sold some Bitcoin. In the last earnings report, it sold 10% of its Bitcoin. So has Tesla not sold any Bitcoin since then? Has Tesla, because it's not Tesla has never sold any Bitcoin. You sold 10% of your Bitcoin in the last earnings quarter. So that's not clarity, because it's certainly not that you never sold. It's from some point you never sold. But what was that point? Did you not sell any Bitcoin since Thursday? Since the last earnings report? I think with him coming out with the intentionality of clarifying that Tesla has not sold any Bitcoin, I would say that this is probably like a 90% indication that they have not sold any Bitcoin since their 10% sell-off. Because, I mean, again, even though he's not being super clear, I think that's what his intention is by coming out to clarify speculation. But, you know, it does leave a little bit to be desired in terms of being, you know, if the point is to come out with clarification, be nice to clarify a little bit more. But yeah, anyway, crypto related getting whacked here. I would expect within 3 minutes when we do get the OTC markets reporting, we're going to see a little bit of pain of at some of the Canadian based crypto plays as well, whether that's Voyager or HUD 8. You know, they all tend to operate together here. Bitcoin recovering a little bit, just over 45,000. Yeah, look at that. In the 5 minute here, we went from a low candle to a little bit higher here. So, all right, let's see what else we got here. Okay, so Playboy is up 8%. Look at AMC's run. Very nice. Pushed up, now up to 7.7% again here. I mean, just really, really incredible run here. CEO mentioning he is now interested in following the apes and the ape movement. It's incredible. So then you've got Shift Technologies up a nice 5.4% here, with Macy's doing well at 4.5% on Macy's. Bed Bath & Beyond up 2.8. Churchill Capital, where is it? There it is. Churchill Capital up 2.64, still remarkably lower than obviously where this thing has been in some of the recent months. But some nice video surfacing, by the way, of Peter Rawlinson clearly having more responsibility than a rumor that had been circling around, which was that he was just somebody who ordered parts. Video of him probably from about 10 years ago, very, very highly educated in the vehicle and at the Model S at Tesla, clearly having a responsibility related to the engineering of the car. It's a worthwhile video to take a peek at if you can find it. I'm going to go ahead and hop on over. We're not going to play it here, though, right now. I'm going to go ahead and drop on over to CNBC for a moment. Let's see what they've got, and Bloomberg. We'll compare.
But by and large, they're in pretty good space still. As for where we are right now on the internals on the market, people keep worrying about it. But, you know, I looked at over the weekend. If you look at the 50-day moving average, just on a technical, 9 of the 11 sectors are above the 50-day moving average. My old buddy Sam Stovall pointing that out over the weekend. Tech and consumer discretionary are not, but there's the growth sectors of the market that are weak. We know that. And that's because in consumer discretionary, you got Amazon and Tesla, Starbucks, even Ford. They all topped out a couple of months ago. So it's been tough moving forward, that growthier part of the market right now here. As for where we are on the markets, I haven't changed since Friday. I said Friday, flat's the new up. It wasn't really a joke. We have to learn to live with this inflation story, and there is not a short-term answer. We're not going to know on Tuesday that the Fed's been right on inflation, calling it transitory. We won't know for months if the Fed has actually been right on this narrative.
Yeah, we do have the Fed minutes coming out this week from their last meeting, but I don't think we actually expect them to think anything other than, oh, well, inflation's transitory, which the market doesn't really buy it.
But it's tough right now, I think, to make a new high without some kind of inflation determination, and we don't have it. So that's why you get these markets that are moving sideways and to get a little bit of pressure on these thematic tech stocks. David, back to you.
Yeah.
Not a bad point. Tough to get new highs without certainty on inflation data, he says. Really, really good argument. And this is what I think that we start getting. It's not going to be a full improvement, but it's we start seeing that improvement in September and October is my expectation. That's when we're hoping to start see that improvement. And I agree. I don't think until we see more of that certainty, it's gonna be a ride. Now I like prices where they are now. Bought a bunch last week. Not really seeing crazy new lows today, with the exception of certain stocks. Yeah, here we go. Some of the OTCs just came in here. We have HUD 8 mining coming in down 9.48%. Big Digital here, your other crypto players, down also substantially here. You've got Coupang, Asian exposure here, 7.25%. Marathon Digital still down a bit. Coinbase not down as much as it was, but boy, oh boy, did it hit another all-time low. All right, let's hop on over again here. Anything crypto related, just getting destroyed.
Yeah, the reference rate in their direct listing was 250, Stu.
Yep.
And you have to remember that on day one, Coinbase soared to 420 at its peak. So it's come down a long way.
It was like 427.
Makes over 90% of the money from transaction fees that it charges at 60 million users. But that interest goes down and the amount of money that they make goes down when you have a drop in crypto prices. But we did see that Coinbase did rally actually after their earnings, despite the fact that they missed a little bit in their first 3 months of this year, because they're going to offer Dogecoin trading in the next 6 to 8 weeks. So again, that's more interest coming online.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Saving the stock for now. the stock's in timeout for a bit. Let's go ahead and listen in over here on this revised proposal for a moment. This will have inflation implications.
No way to move forward, and I think that's the most prominent thing that we're looking at this point. I know that obviously Congresswoman Jayapal has come out very strongly in support of just Democrats going ahead and passing the package. But the fact of the matter is that she knows that there are moderate Democrats there who really need to go back home and say, look, we made a good faith effort to work with Republicans. At the end of the day, the goal for Democrats is to get something done. I think there is some flexibility within the caucus on whether that means going with Republicans for part of it, or just if they can't go with Republicans, then being able to go it alone.
Emily, thank you. The latest on the infrastructure push down in Washington, D.C. The latest on the World Economic Forum. Headline just crossed on the Bloomberg. They will cancel their August Singapore meeting. That just crossed, for those of you that care, the World Economic Forum to cancel the August Singapore meeting. Let's bring in back our guests, shall we? Richard Bernstein and Stephen Parker still with us. Stephen, your base case for the next move down in D.C., I have to say it's confusing for me. It is for others. Is it confusing for you?
Yes, and I'm glad that we here at JP Morgan have a lot of people who spend their entire time focusing on things like this, so I don't have to. We think that ultimately there is going to be some sort of deal that gets done. We don't think it's going to end up being on either tail. There's going to end up being some sort of compromise. And we also have to keep in mind that while we think that, all
right, I'm going to pull down this, talk about a compromise in Congress. That'll be really interesting to see if we get an infrastructure compromise with Biden. I don't know. Biden obviously pushing for nearly $4 trillion in spending, including tax increases on a lot of folks, especially related to the investment world. So it's been a rough ride for the investment world. Got volatility is up today about 8.45%. You've got Azam coming out of nowhere here. Look at this. Azam is all of a sudden up 7.4%, beating now AMC's rise, where AMC is really flattened here. AMC came out strong out of the gate, dropped a little bit, flattened, flat right now at about 7.3%. We'll see if we can get another breakout here at AMC. Ethereum on the 5-minute chart still trending towards the downside. QuantumScape at 6.3% towards the upside, sitting at 29 now, with Gevo up also about 7% to 643. OGI 5.79. API Agora Inc. 5.98% to the upside. Mind Medicine somewhat trading a little bit down here. Take a look at this. Had a very strong open in Mind Medicine, was up almost 12%. Now it's down to only up about 4%, bobbing around a little bit here. Bitcoin also rotating back to the downside a bit here, 44.8. AT&T up nicely for AT&T here at 33.6, and Canoe 3.84%. You've got Churchill Capital 2.54. Let's go towards the dark side here. Anything crypto related, Coinbase rotating back towards the downside, 241. Square's got that crypto exposure as well, down about 2.26. Tesla, where did it go? Tesla's sort of escaped my watch here. Wow, there it is. Tesla trying to go green here, down only 0.5% now. This is actually somewhat of a surprise. Tesla was down as much as 2.3%, and now appears to be trying to, minus the red appearing now, appears to be trying to go green. Let's go ahead and listen to CNBC for a moment.
Expiration today at Airbnb. But you're right on retail. We're going to get a lot of information in 24 hours. We'll have Home Depot, Walmart, and Macy's to kick around. In about an hour, actually less than that, David Zaslav and John Stankey of Discovery and AT&T. We'll talk to David about the mega deal in media today. We're back in a moment.
Let's go ahead and escape on over to Bloomberg.
That defeats the purpose. Our manufacturing sector, industrial sector is so undercapitalized. We think they're going to be the big beneficiaries.
Richard, we've got to leave it there. It's always good to see you, sir. Richard Bernstein there and Stephen Parker. Stephen, thank you. Let's get you some sector price action. Equities just rolling over a touch. Here's Dave Wilson with more. Hey, Dave.
Rolling over. One thing that'll also be rolling over this week is that coupon code that is expected now to expire this week. We are finishing that marketing transition, which will be fun. So we should be done this week. And check out the programs linked down below on building your wealth with stocks, real estate. Real estate one's been a lot of folks looking to diversify into real estate lately. So has also been very popular. Take a peek at real estate investing or property management and do-it-yourself renovations. I'll link down below.
For a better dinner routine. Hello Fresh.
Nope, wrong.
Even in light of this deal, AT&T merging its Warner Media unit with Discovery, at least that's the plan. And what's interesting is it comes in an area within communication services that really has been on a roller coaster ride this year, specifically the media stocks. Now, you think about
let's go ahead and pull off Bloomberg for a moment, and let's go take a look at some of the things that are going on with the 10-year. Let's look at Treasury yields, try to get an understanding of what we got. So let's see what we have here. Okay. So we've got the 10-year coming in at 1.633% today. So it's certainly down from the peaks we saw last week, but up slightly, a tiny little bit, like 0.1% on the day here. Yeah, let's zoom out a little bit here. There we go. So here's our 10-year. Got down to really roughly about 1.62, had a brief dip, and it looks like it's up a little bit. Not too much movement here, slight move to the upside. You can look at the 10-year break even as well. Let's go ahead and take a peek here. This is really what people look at for potentially inflation expectations, and seeing that I'd say mostly flat right now. A little bit of a tick up over here, but mostly flat. This is probably coming out of the Asia and India news, but also no surprise. I mean, it's no surprise that you're going to have these rough base effect readings, not just in the United States, but really across the world. Tesla rotating back to the negative side here. It was only down about 0.5% and now rotating to the downside a little more. You've got Hut 8 mining down 9%. Coinbase still sitting at that 240 level here. Square now down 3.4%, right at 200. Let's listen to what CNBC has for us.
But these would indicate that semis have peaked, and I don't think so, but maybe Applied Materials can tell a better story.
All right, Jim. How about tonight? What are you going to tackle? There's so much to choose from.
Yeah, well, I'm going to do Generac, which I think is probably at the cusp of trying to get power stored through battery, as well as, of course, making it so that if you have an outage, you have machine. And then Bill Toller, I mean, Hydrofarm is still one more company that's involved with the growing of cannabis, which used to be called pot, and their business is spectacular. So we got to really, I mean, a lot of people are buying these stocks. Grow generation, it's what they want, because they don't buy the pot stocks, which are awful.
Yeah. No, it's been a difficult run for those who saw a lot of runway policy-wise, Jim, especially here in the States. As for the chop that you were talking about, we had a couple of nice days to close last week. You mentioned the action today. I mean, you've got two camps. One argues that we're in sort of peak growth, peak positioning. The other says the VIX is reset. We got Q1 earnings kind of out of the way, and that the path, at least to Memorial Day, looks pretty clear.
I think the path to Memorial is clear, and I'm surprised that the market is down this much. But I understand that there was a lot of complacency, maybe some retesting. But Memorial Day is really the 2 days, 3 days before Memorial Day are fantastic days to buy for a lot of stocks. So don't give up the ship, everybody. But understand that things got a little too complacent last week. Dave, did I tell you that the dividend cut, it could be substantial, ATT? I'm not sure.
Well,
let's go ahead and go back to the sticks here. A lot of spark lines actually rotating to the downside right now. We see that over here, especially at Wind Resorts. Let's go to the 5-minute just to see the last 30 minutes and a little bit more context here. Wind Resorts definitely rotating to the downside. Look at that. Upstart down 5% here, also showing us a nice rotation down. UiPath right down. What else here? You've got Squares kind of been bombing around the lower side here. Piton just gave up a couple percent as well. A lot going here to the downside here. Pinterest dropping about 1.4%. Ubiquity rotating to the downside. Intel down slightly. Let's see if we got anything really going up right now. You got Discoveries over here is up 13%. Zom and AMC trading spaces here, or places, trading them for around who's leading this rally here, both around that 7.9% right now. BTX, well, here's one that just moves crazy up or crazy down, depending on the day. Nikola, look at Nikola's ride. I mean, Nikola's actually chugging along here, getting to $13. Nice move to the upside. Shift Technology. Oh, here's Mind Medicine. This one's been straight down on the day here. Still sitting at about 4.9% up, though. Shift Technology, about 4.3 to the upside. And we've got BNGO. BNGO moving nicely to the upside. Macy's giving up a little bit of that run it had there. I mean, for a moment, this was up almost 5% here. Churchill Capital also giving up about a percentage point. Market not too happy. I had a nice run towards the end of last week. Had some wonderfully low prices. And now it looks like we're not going to be continuing that run, at least not yet. Not sure if the Fed meeting minutes will change anything this week. Quite frankly, I cannot imagine the Fed minute meetings changing anything to the upside. Certainly not to the downside, but it's more hurry up and wait for this stock market to take off. A lot of sideways trading and parking money into the fire pit until one day those tendies pop out cooked. But that day is probably not today. Let's go ahead and see what else we got here. Okay, Fox, CNBC, both on commercial. Let's go ahead and okay, wow, Bloomberg is also on commercial. Okay, let's take a look at the top news and see what we have for the day. Let's jump on over to top news. So, top news. Tech leads U.S. stocks lower. Oil increases. AT&T to merge with Discovery. We have JP Morgan reopens offices across the U.S. as pressures grow on arrival. Algorithm that sets airfares gets adjusted after COVID disruption. Ooh, that's interesting. Elon Musk keeps trolling the Bitcoin pursuits. Purists. Okay. Not sure him saying they didn't sell is continued trolling, but okay. Okay. Let's go back to let's see what Fox has for us. Let's give him a shot.
Overpowering. Dow's down 100, Nasdaq's down 90. The 10-year Treasury yield as of right now is 1.63% on your screen. And big tech still mostly lower. We do have the exception of Amazon, which is up a strong 1.7% this morning at 32.78. That's the price of Amazon. Bitcoin, you got to get to that these days. Almost every 5 or 10 minutes, we got to quote Bitcoin, $45,000 exactly as of right now. And yet again, Elon Musk is involved in the volatility. We'll tell you all about that coming up. First, though, we got the Homebuilder Housing Index for May. Good morning, Ashley. What do we have?
Good morning to you, Mr. Varney. Came in at the exact estimate of 83 in May. That means more than 80% of the members find business conditions to be good. Now, that number unchanged from April. In fact, it's remained pretty steady since the start of the year. A big issue, as we know, is the rising cost of materials, lumber in particular. Some builders are now reportedly slowing down sales to help manage their own supply chains, but a lack of labor and building lots also means consumers can expect rising prices through the end of the year.
Okay, glad to hear that. No impact on the market that I can see. We're still down 150 for the Dow, 111 for the Nasdaq. And now
Let's go ahead and pull off Fox here and grab CoinMarketCap. Let's give CoinMarketCap a little bit of a peek here, especially since Fox is going over to the border. So we do, let's take a look here. In the last 7 days, we are down 21.6% on Bitcoin, sitting at about 45,000. Ethereum's down 15.93%, sitting at 34.59. Cardano is actually up 23.5% on a 7-day chart, giving up about 8.69% in the last 24 hours. Dogecoin here, I would almost call this relatively flat, honestly, for the week, sitting at 49, down 4.85% in the last 24, but flat on the week. It's actually not bad for the crypto market. Ethereum Classic down about 25.4% over the last 7, and Ethereum Classic down 8.5 in the last 24. Shibu is down a full 44%. That's almost half gone in just the last 24 hours. Definitely had 7 days, more losers here or larger losses here in the last 24. But we do have some runners as well here. Look at that, Polygon up 91% and Revane up 65%. Cardano probably being one of the popular ones as well. All right, let's take a peek at the sticks again here. Yeah, lots of spark lines here to the downside. Ouch. That's a lot of red again. So that's kind of almost the market that we're just in right now. It's some of the pricing though now is gotten to these low levels again, where you just find it to be you look at like a Tesla, and you think like, well, we did hit lows of 535 in March, and that's true. And it's like, okay, we're gonna hit that 535 again, or does it just keep going? That's the big question. Generally, when I look at stocks and I go, once you've sold off 35%, it's a lot harder to have that trend continue down. You can certainly be held down in that space though for quite a bit of time. That might be that the sideways trading that we continue to see here in the broader market. A lot of stocks here rotating towards the downside. DraftKings down 4.7%, Upstart 5.2, Affirm 5.6 here, 5.35 rather. Up HUD 8 down 8%, Big Digital 8, Marathon and Riot really losing there at 11-13%. Square following down 4%. Not exactly sure where Coinbase here went. Let's try to find where Coinbase is escaping off to. Tesla down about 1.9%. Let's see what we got here. Coin, where'd you go? Oh, there it is. Coinbase down now at new all-time lows, 238 for Coinbase. Whereas on the upside, we have volatility, but nowhere near the volatility that we saw last week. Take a peek here. Nowhere near that spike of volatility that we saw last week. Usually those spikes being good times to go shopping, but not always, because you can always see more red afterwards. We've got AMC sitting up 8% here, Azom 7.6, AT&T 4.6. Nice move there on AT&T's part. Macy's still doing very well, up 3.7% today. Shift Technologies about 2 and a bit. Target about 0.71, and Tattooed Chef sitting at about 1/3%. All right, let's hop back on over to see if Jim Cramer has anything new for us.
See the combined brands here, Morgan. That's a fairly impressive group of brands. Of course, they're talking about as much as $14 billion in EBITDA. They do expect to generate $3 billion a year in synergies. And they'll reinvest that. That's cost. You can count.
All right, let's go ahead and hop back on over to what we have with Bloomberg. Keep in mind with Webull, that is the stock platform, a brokerage platform that we keep showing the sticks of. You go to metkevin.com/Webull, deposit $100, and you'll get up to $1,850 for free. Somebody also reached out and mentioned they got their full $250 with BlockFi yesterday. So congratulations to them. If you want to get up to $250 for free depositing your cryptocurrency with BlockFi, you go to metkevin.com/BF, BF as in BlockFi.
But he is going to be sitting down with Atlanta Fed President Raphael Bostic after his speech. And I would be surprised if the whole question of inflation doesn't come up, Alex, because it is front and center on everyone's mind. And this morning, Raphael Bostic did talk about it, saying he thought it was transitory and that this is not the time to raise rates. So maybe be careful what you wish for. You'll get it. The same word over and over again.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, Mike McKee, thanks a lot. And if you want to listen to the entire speech of the Atlanta Fed event, you can go to Live Go on your terminal and breeze into TV and then Live Go and check it out. And like I mentioned at the top of the show, it is Merger Monday. AT&T confirming a deal with Discovery to spin off its media operations. A new entertainment company will be created with assets ranging from CNN to HBO to Food Network and Animal Planet. A huge deal broken by Ed Hammond yesterday. He joins us now. Hey, Ed, what are the questions that you have now? You broke the deal yesterday. It's official today. What are the remaining?
Let's go ahead and pull off the AT&T and Discovery deal news. They're all honestly covering this. It kind of goes to show that it's really a low news day. You had CNBC's covering this. You got Bloomberg's been sitting on this, and talking about housing over at Fox. But really, kind of tough coverage today. You've got not a lot of actual news happening. Let's go jump back on over to the sticks. I mean, this is the only place we're really seeing some movement here. And certainly in certain sectors, like volatility bumping up a little bit. Oh, look at this. AMC almost up 10% here. Look at that. It went flat for a moment, and now we're getting a nice tick to the upside here, up 14.25. Up to 14.25. It's up about 10% at the moment. A nice green pop here. Very nice. Mind Medicine also following with a little bit of a green pop here. This makes you wonder, are we starting to get a market bounce a little bit here? I don't know. Let's see. Naked Brands bouncing a little bit here. We've got PaySafe. PaySafe rotating the downside on the 5-minute candles. We have XL Fleet. Yeah. No, a lot of these things still looking to the downside here. I mean, Carvana looks like it's moving straight down, essentially. Same thing with Piton right now. Square, the same thing. Coin trying to recover, but what's a recovery when you're at 242? It's in the toilet. And where did Tesla go? There it is. Tesla still down 2% here, giving up some of those attempted gains again. Looking at the crypto space on the 5-minute, we are towards the downside again on Ethereum, 34.20. Not at all-time lows, but definitely rotating towards that downside here. Bitcoin, 44.6. Dogecoin rotating almost straight down here at what are we at here? 48.8. Ouch. More of that rotation to the downside. All right, folks, take a look at that coupon code down below. I've got to run. We will catch up later as we actually get news. It's a little bit boring, I have to say. A little bit boring news. Mixed market here. If anything, probably weighted a little bit more heavily towards the downside today. With those international inflation numbers. Yeah, the inflation is nothing's a surprise here for me in April, May, or June, with the exception of maybe the severity of the sell-off. But inflation, we saw it coming. We'll see if it ends up being temporary or not. It's going to be the big bet. Will it pay off or will it not? We'll see. Thanks so much for watching, folks. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.